Hi and welcome to my channel. It's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147, and it's time to work on row 6. This has seemed to have been quite a long process, but I am enjoying it, so it's sort of nice to get this project done. So I'm going to see if I can get hold, let's see if I can get hold of everything up to 939. So this is how much I've sort of shrunk the storage box so far. I do have bags here just helping to hold this up. I think I might leave them in there for a little bit until we've got a bit further. But this is the rest of my box that did originally hold up to 900. I want to check that I didn't have any 900 bags already, and yeah, basically what I am doing at the moment is I am moving, get that to lie straight, I am moving all my diamonds that I already have in these bags into some thicker bags that were gifted to me by Diana. And I am prettying them up with my nice new DMC labels in round and square. So they're my pretty little labels for 900, and then they're going back into my storage box that has since been prettied up with a DMC label. That was prettied up a while ago. And yeah, I'm basically just making everything even prettier, which is awesome. I'm just going to throw all the bag stuff to the side. I will reuse these bags, and that is something that takes me a little while when I finish each video, just to make sure that I take all those stickers off the front of the bags and collate them and put them somewhere pretty. But yeah, this spare storage system has worked for me now for probably coming up to 3 years, for storing all of my spare diamonds. Now I have, tweaked it a little bit as I've gone along, mainly along the basis of making it prettier or collating bags, so that they take up less space. That sort of seems to have been what I've done. I'm hoping that this will sort of be, the finale, all that's required now for this spare storage, and I'll have, it pretty and functional all at once. Though, even if I was still doing it the original way, I'd done it by having separate bags for things, it would still work. It would still do what I needed it to do. But yeah, I am labelling up for each bag regardless of whether I have any diamonds for it. And that is because I don't want to have a sheet of stickers floating about with, part used, which some people may prefer. They'll know just by looking at their sticker sheet whether they have that number or not. If the sticker's been used, they have that number. If it hasn't been used, they don't. So it could be used as sort of a little check system for yourself. But I'm finding that, when it comes to dekitting and stuff, I want to be able to just put them in a bag that's there. And as I say, I don't want the sticker sheet sort of floating about, part used. So for myself, I am going to be labelling them up. Even here, 906, I don't have any. But that's fine. I'm going to label up the bags. I also find that helps keep a little gap between each DMC card, each DMC number, which means that I can, still sort of see the numbers on the cards quite easy. It's easier to flip through. It gives them that little spacer. So I am very much liking sort of using them all. and putting them all into little bags. So we've got quite a few in the 900s. I am sort of expecting that there's going to be, looking at it, it does look like there's quite a few numbers in the 900s that I might not have, and therefore I will just be putting into a bag. Let's see, we've got a couple here now. 909, I don't have any of, in round or in square. So I'm just going to pop my little stickers on and I'm going to pop them in. So I think this may end up taking up, this 900s may end up taking up what could be classed as a little bit more room, because it's going to have all these bags in that it never had in before. But I am also, in with this process, I am limiting myself to one of these bags full containing spares and no more. So one bag for round, one bag for square, and I'm not having any more, because I do think there needs to be a limit on how many spares I could potentially need. I don't have to dip into my spares very often. I have done a few projects with them, so I have been using them, saving myself money. Oh, see, we've got another couple here now that I've got no diamonds for in 3 years. That's fine. That colour's just obviously not come up. It may be a colour that's not used in diamond painting at all, but because there are so many different manufacturers of diamond paintings, there's no way of knowing exactly what numbers they all use. So I'm just gonna label them up because they were in my DMC number list, and I'm gonna pop them in a bag and we'll see if they ever do get used. Okay, 915, we're sticking to the card. So I've got 915. I do have this in square as well, but it is currently in my Heaven and Earth design. But yeah, on the basis of this sort of tidy up, clean up, make it pretty, is to switch over to these thicker bags because they were gifted to me and I didn't realise how amazing they were until they were gifted to me. So I'm changing over to those. I want to make sure that I'm using my new pretty labels that are available in my shop and will be linked in the description part below. There will be a link to the shop. But yeah, I'm wanting to move to these baggies, make it even prettier. It makes dekitting a kit so much nicer when it's pretty. It just makes me smile when I dekit a kit. At the moment, I've dekit a few while I've been in the process of neatening up this storage, making it nicer. And I've found that when I'm doing a section that has been made pretty, it is so much more enjoyable to do than a section that hasn't yet been made pretty. So I know I'm going to love it when it's all done. Let's move these bags up a little bit. Okay, 919. But there are quite a few numbers to go through. It isn't necessarily a quick process, but setting up any type of sort of storage for your spares. But I do find it's an enjoyable process. I enjoy this. When I've sort of done mini revamps before, I've done them in front of the TV. And it's just nice to spend a few hours making something pretty. It's still diamond painting related, but maybe you've just finished a massive diamond painting, or maybe you're working on one and it's sort of like, oh, fancy doing something a little bit different for a bit. Then this could be an ideal thing to do. You're still doing your hobby. You're still making your hobby nicer in the long run, but you're giving yourself, you know, maybe that evening or two's break from the painting that you've been doing, especially if it's got a lot of black. I don't know what it is, But if it's got a lot of 310, sometimes it can be harder to motivate yourself to do it. But I am really enjoying this process of doing a little bit each week. So there's no real pressure. I just come in, do a video, chat to you guys, might be an hour or so each sort of Saturday, and my spares are getting there, but it's actually not taking away from any of my evening diamond painting time, which is probably a good thing because I have a few customs to get through in my evening diamond painting time at the moment. That's my latest comparison video, is customs from 4 different sellers, same picture but from 4 different sellers, and I am doing the same picture, well actually 6 times, because I did, a couple of the sellers sort of didn't send me a mock-up, so I did order the smallest of that to see what it would look like. So it's sort of a comparison of size-ish. Say I did only get a couple, it wasn't a matter of doing a size comparison like I had done before on other images. It's mainly to check the same image in the same size from different sellers and to see what it looks like. But in turn, I do have a couple of different sizes, so by all means check that video out that was out last week if you want to see what the canvases look like before I start working on them. But don't make your decision on it until it's done. If you are thinking of getting a custom and you are wanting to use my video as a way of deciding which company to go for, then don't just do it off the canvas, because I do think you don't get a true full reflection until they're finished. Some companies use symbols that are a little bit off sync shading wise, especially when it comes to black. Some companies will use a green, some companies will use a dark colour, and that can vary, and it can make the canvas look off until the actual black diamonds are fitted on it. So let's move that up a little bit more. We've still got loads of room when I tilt it upright, but I'm just trying to shuffle them. I don't think I'm going to get into 2 boxes though. I was hoping to get all my spare diamonds into 2 boxes, but I'm going to try and get what I can, this is a square, try and get what I can into this column now from the 900s, but I still have a complete box with all the 3000s in that need to be moved over. Got static in this one. If you do find that you have a lot of diamonds with static, you really struggle with static, maybe that's the sort of, you know, based on where you live, maybe that's just a temperament that static is a huge problem, then you can put a little piece of a dryer sheet in with your diamonds to help control it a little bit. That one isn't in the bag, and neither is that one. Get in the bag. There we go. Look how pretty is that. I do find that these stronger bags don't sink as much, so like that one sort of all sinks down and bunches up at the bottom, which takes up more space. I am finding that these bags don't bunch as much because they are stiffer. They're not as flexible, and because of that I'm finding that they take less room in the storage, which is another nice thing about moving to these, is trying to compact my storage a little bit. See how it works. See if we can see how much I can get them down. I think I'm not going to find out fully how much I can compact things and get things how I want them until they're all done. Got another bit of static. What is it with the green colours? Oh, that didn't help. I flipped the bag a bit too hard and it just went everywhere. Okay, there's one more diamond stuck in there. Get out. Okay, so that diamond's out. Now let me just get the couple of diamonds that went AWOL. I think that's them all. Oh no, there's one there. Okay, that's it. That's all it's having. But I tend to find that that is sort of as thick as it goes. Even when I shake it down, that is as thick as that bag's going. So that is already taking up less room than it did originally, which is good, which is what we want. But there are a lot of 900s. A lot. Okay, 930. And when I have finished using spares with my Heaven and Earth design, I will transfer them over to this. But my plan for the colours that I have more of, I have, you know, too many for this bag, is at the moment I am collating those. They're currently in a plant pot that I use in my calax. Sort of a long planter pot. I'll show you when I come across one. I know 939 is going to be one that I probably have far too many of. I'm going to keep them together. I'm going to keep them in these old style bags, or old style for me. And then there are sites on Facebook where people can ask for spare diamonds in their own country. Well, I know the UK has one. I assume it's something that every country has. But we do have one in the UK called Got Diamonds UK. And if somebody were to run out of a colour that they don't have a spare of, maybe they're new to diamond painting, maybe they don't keep their spares, or maybe they just haven't had that colour yet, because of course there is a lot of colours, and there's some colours that I don't have. So if I'd have run out of that colour, that would be the Facebook site I go to. You can ask others if they have a certain colour of diamond, and they send them to you. So it's a purely sort of giving page. Oh, there's another one of those greens that's going. I'm over them. It's a purely sort of gifting. There's no buying of diamonds involved. If somebody goes on that site and says they've got some, then they're willing to send them and pay the postage for sending them. But that's sort of where I'm going to start spreading the love and sharing any spare diamonds that I have with people that need them. Because then they're not going to waste. And I already have plenty because I've already sort of filled my quota. Just checking. These bags also have, they also have sort of a longer side and a thinner side. So if you catch me messing, it's me just checking that I am putting the sticker on the right side. That makes it easier to open. It's not a biggie, doesn't have to be done. And in fact, I think the first row I didn't realise. So there's some that I put the stickers on the wrong way around. But when I can, I'm putting them on the right way around. Now that I remember. Come on. There's a diamond behind the sticker, but that's not a diamond at the top. That's just a piece of plastic. So that's 935. Oh, we're getting there. Okay, 936. I don't have any. So this is a straightforward one. And if you're just starting diamond painting, and you've chosen to set up your storage system, you will have that nice quick option of just putting the labels on, putting them in the box. Mine is longer because I'm tipping the diamonds in out of bags that I already had. If I was just switching the stickers, it would be quicker. If I was, you know, just making it pretty, then it would be a lot quicker. But I do have a lot of diamonds. I have a lot of spares, considering I am doing a cross stitch pattern with spares that has taken a load of my spares out of this equation. In fact, I have a full box, a full photo box with spares that are just for my Heaven and Earth design. And any number that appears in that goes into that spare box. And it's only once I don't need that colour anymore, or when I finish that cross stitch pattern, it's only then that they'll move into this storage. It can be complicated, but it works. Okay, 938 I have a lot, but they can all fit in this bag if they want to get out. Come on. There we go. So just try and make it as flat as I can before I seal it. Let's try and make sure that I get all the diamonds in there. But that has taken up so much less room. It's so much thinner than it was before. And it stands up straight like a soldier. Okay, so let's get sort of, maybe let's see if I can get them all out actually. Because I kind of feel like I'm going to be fighting more if I can't find somewhere to sort of lean them in. Oh, that's going to be another colour that I've got a lot of. Okay, so these are the ones that we've got left to do. So far, I'm still on this side. Here we go, 939. I have 2 bags of 939 in round. There is no way I'm going to need both of those bags because I am only allowing 1 bag back into my spare storage. I do also have a lot of 939 in square. I have far more than I have in round, but they are used in my Heaven and Earth design, so they're in my other storage. So I'm still going to create the bag for when that's finished. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill that to sort of, that's probably pretty full, though there is a little bit of room. So if I go to dekit a kit, because I know I have loads of 939, that is plenty for me to have as spares. But if I do get a kit that maybe I only have, you know, 10 or 20 of them left, they'll fit in there. If I have a kit that has more, then it will go straight into my giveaway. So what I then do with these is these are going to go into my giveaway. In fact, I'll put my little baggy insert back into this one. And I only put a baggy insert in because it helps it to stand up, stops it flopping. For now, I just have a plant pot from IKEA, and that has all the DMC numbers, see look, that I have far too many of. That's my 310, and that's 310. And these are going to be the ones that I'm going to share with others, so I'll create a storage for those when I'm done. I think I'm going to try and create a box that just houses any that I have to give away. So all I have to do is look in that box, check it against any that people need on the Facebook group, and if they need them, off they go. Okay, 945, I have both squares and rounds, but that square bag is pretty full. Okay, so 945. You'll be all right with the rounds. I'll definitely get those moved over. Squares, I think I may end up with some left over, because because I think that's quite a full bag. That's too many possibly to move over. So I'm going to leave the baggy insert in there and see how I go first. Yeah. Let's share the love with some of those, because that is sort of a nice amount. I will get a few more in if I needed to. And there are multiple colours in the 945, a few different shades from different sellers. That doesn't bother me. I know that does bother some people and they still prefer to keep those separate. For myself, I figure that if I do need the spares for a diamond painting, then I would just tip what I had into the bag into a tray, or a section of it into a tray, depending on how many I needed. And I will pick the closest match, and then I'll use that. Because I never know what the shade is that I need to replace. If I also was ever doing a project where I was just, say, using a colour to create something, doing something, you know, off the page, and creating it myself where the DMC number doesn't really matter, and I'm just looking for a particular shade of something, then again, I would just tip it into a tray and pick the closest match. To me, that is much better and much easier for me than keeping the diamonds separate in separate bags. To me, that's just too much hard work. I much prefer them to take a lot less space. Okay, let's move those bags out of the way. So it is tipping. Just stay that way for a minute while I fill you up. Okay, so we're up to 948. There's going to have to be some chunks where I don't have diamonds. Unless they're all ones where I only have a small amount. In that case, we'll be here a bit longer. And they're squares. Let's try and put these in the right bag. This is where not talking while you're doing it can help. Make sure that you put them away in the right bag at the right time. Oh, 950. So again, that's multiple different shades of those, even across the squares and the rounds, they're different. But they're all in the same bag, they're all staying in the same bag. So that's 950. I think I should get all of these into the bag, no problem. I think it's going to be a pretty full bag though. Oh, that's pretty. I do just like it when the bag's like that. It's like so nice. So nice when they're full. And there's one of them. I've just knocked it out when I took the baggy insert out. This has definitely got a couple of different shades. Some of them are really, really light and some of them are really, really dark. And they're full of static. I have also heard that putting diamonds in a freezer can help take the static off. Which is why, I don't know why they're so staticky, because it's not been the warmest in the UK. We are supposed to have a little bit of a warm spurt next week, but we'll see how warm that truly gets. And then it will probably go back to being freezing, because that's just the way it works here. We get a little taste of spring and nice, warm, sunny days, you know. You clean off your washing line, you put your washing out to dry, and then you think, oh great, I'm really getting through my washing, I'm getting through my washing basket. Stuff's getting done, and then it absolutely throws it down and goes icy cold. And that puts a halt to that. But that is, as they say, the UK weather. Okay, 951, so we're over halfway through the 900s. I say that they're not an even number, so it could be that there's more diamonds over 950 than there is under. We've definitely got a couple more rows. That's where 996 is. So we've got a couple more rows to get done. We'll see how many we can get into this row in the hope of compressing things down. Oh, come on, there's only about 20 diamonds in there and you're playing up. Oh, get out. Not many diamonds in there at all, but if I run out, I'll want them. I want those couple of diamonds to finish a painting. Okay, 955. These two, most of these two seem to have diamonds in. I hope you're getting, you guys that have, you know, been doing your storage as well are getting there. I hope you're enjoying the process. It is a process that's good to enjoy while you're doing it. If this sort of thing is something that you want, so maybe you want the end result, but you hate the process of doing it, and that is something that actually stops you from doing it, then maybe don't set it up as an all-in-one system. You know, get your things lined up and only be putting your stickers on and doing your cards and stuff as and when you dekit. So you're not doing it as a full session. You're just doing it bit by bit when a painting's finished, and build it up that way. And then you'll get there. That, or find a friend that loves to do things like this and pass it to them. That's the other option. There's always a friend out there. If there was someone local to me, I would probably sit there and stick the stickers on and make it all pretty for them before I hand it over. And then tell them that if they mess it up and it's no longer pretty, not to show me ever again. Because I have the memory of it looking pretty and I want it to stay that way. We've all got our things that we enjoy compared to others. Even diamond painting. My hubby doesn't mind me diamond painting at all. He does not understand it though. He does not understand how I can sit there dot dabbing diamonds. He finds that sort of too much of a tedious thing for him, which is fine. It's not his cup of tea. A couple of my girls have given it a go. Well, I've got 3 girls. Megan likes to do it. She's my eldest. She likes to diamond paint. She doesn't do it as much as me, but she does like to diamond paint. My second eldest, she's done it a little bit. She was okay with it, but really, it's not quick enough for her. She's not. She will do a little bit of it, but then she'd much rather you do it for her. I think is the way she'd go for it. She likes the finish effect, but she'd much rather somebody else did it for her. And then my youngest daughter, she likes to do it on occasion. So she's more, she will like to do a 30 by 30 and it's for her room, and she really enjoyed the process of doing it. But then she's not interested in what the next one will be. It's like, no. But then she might pick it up again at some point and go, oh yeah, I'd like to do one, and then she'll do one. She seems to like the smaller things, so bookmarks and stuff, things that can be done in one sitting. She's more than happy to sit there and spend the time on the detail for an hour or two, because you know she's in the frame of mind / the mood for it. But it isn't something that she wants to pick up every day. So everybody is different, and that's okay. After all, this hobby doesn't tell you how you have to be. Okay, that's 962. Oh, we're getting fuller. Getting there. Okay, what's next? 963. All of these seem to have like pretty much one bag. Okay. I thought this might have been a quicker process because we'd have a lot that weren't in a bag and it was a lot of cards that took up the space, but that's not the case. So plod on we shall go. But this is sort of the last row in box 2, so there's definitely progress been made. Let's see if I can get those. Oh yeah, I can get a couple more in there before class is up. 964. We have one with just bags. Yay. (964). Well, quick. See, it's a lot quicker. Right, 966. We've got one bag. Let's see if I can get up to 967 in this row, just because then I start on sort of a rounder number. I'll start on 970. I may end up jigging them about anyway when I'm completely done, if there's a chance that I can fit them into less boxes, but we will see how that goes. It's going to be a few more weeks until you find out. Big apologies. I know one person in particular is very eager to know how it turns out. And each time I've done the video, I've sort of thought to myself, okay, do you reckon I can get a longer video in, get 2 rows done, so that, you know, we're moving this process on quicker? But due to other stuff that's going on in my life and around the house and all that sort of stuff, I just don't have time to do sort of a double length video for a Saturday. So I am sorry, we are getting there though. And I'll get there as quickety quick as I can. Okay, yeah. So there is still a little bit more room that I could potentially squeeze a few more in, but I do want to be able to flip through the numbers, so I do want a little bit of wiggle room in there. We've gone through, pretty much I'd say we've gone through 100 bags today in this little escapade, which is a lot of diamonds. A lot of work. Okay, 970 in a round. I have a very big pile of bags to deal with this week. Okay, let's put 970 there. 971. Again, we've just got one bag of diamonds. And we're in square this time. I'm trying to think what other numbers. I think it's 995 or 996, sort of the last couple of numbers to do that I may have quite a few of. Come on. There's one diamond that just did not want to get out of that bag. Should have just left in there. These bags do stand up a little bit better when they have got diamonds in compared to when they haven't. But I'm hoping that the fact that the other cards are there will mean I don't need to put baggy inserts in, which are these little bits of paper just to help the bag stand straight. I'm hoping I won't need to put them in, but if I do, I do. I have enough baggy inserts that I've taken out of these, so if not, I could just let myself have some from the shop maybe, if I find I need them. Okay, 973. Oh, we've got a winner with none. I do like the fact that I have a lot of, you know, the diamonds available as spares, but when I'm doing this sort of change of the bags, I like it a little bit more when I don't have the diamonds because it's a quicker process. but it'll all be worth it in the end. 975. A few squares. Get in. And I like to put my bag of rounds before my bag of squares. It's just the way I sort of think of it when I do it. I think rounds then squares. So I'm just going to keep up with that. So 976 doesn't have any. So that can just go in. 977. Oh my goodness me, look at the different colours in those. Isn't there just a few? That's okay. Probably some people are probably looking at that and going, no. And there would have been a time that I did, but I value space over them being together. And I value the time that I don't spend when I'm dekitting. I don't now have the, oh, is it closer to this one or closer to that one? Or do I need to give it its own bag? You know, that whole sort of question process of where's the best place to put the diamonds. It's, if the seller tells me it's 977, it goes in 977. And that's what happens. No questions, no faffing, just do. Okay, I need more bags. I do have some in here, but of course they're partly there to prop up the diamonds if they're needed. So I'll grab another bag because I still have more. They're getting lower though, so that's creating some space for me. So that's 986. Then we have a 987. We've gone a nice way down this sheet today. 987. I just have one. Oh, that bag has been reused multiple times. I can feel it. This bag, I can feel it's been crunched up, it's been uncrunched. It's been handled loads, that one. But it's still usable, so we're all good. Oh, 988. We don't have any, or I don't have any 988. So we'll pop those bags in. 989 I do. I have a rounds. So put my rounds with my round stickers. Oh, I need to get something to eat. When your belly starts a rumbling when you're filming, but it's okay, I'm near the end. I can get something to eat before I tidy up when I've finished. Okay, 991. And I have each of them for this. Not a lot, so it does look as though I've not had, potentially only had one painting that's had this colour. And that's what I tend to find with a lot of them, that I only have a few diamonds. Quite often they've all come from one painting. It's when the bags are fit to bursting that it's normally come, you know, it's normally quite a popular colour, or a well-used colours by the software maybe that the companies use to render the images. Come on. There we go. So that's 991. 992, I also have both, but we're nearly there now. I've only got 4 to go, and I've probably got diamonds for every single one of them because they're all numbers that I recognise. Sort of 995 and 996 in particular are ones that are quite popular in paintings, so I quite often have spares of those. 992. Looks so pretty. I do like it when they're sort of done and stand up straight. I think I am going to try. Somebody did suggest popping sort of a third piece of foam board to just sort of make the rows in here, you know, snug, so that they stand up even nicer. I think I might give that a go once I'm done. Once I'm done and I know, you know, what boxes, how many boxes I'm going to be using, I think I might, oh, that's not going to work very well. They all stayed in the bag that time though. Didn't go flying everywhere. Come on, last one, get out. Yeah, I think I am going to do that. I am going to put sort of a third piece of foam board in, just to this gap here that I've got. It will just eliminate it. Okay, here's 995. I knew I'd have a lot. Now, as you can see, this one is already in one of the new bags. Before I knew I would be doing sort of a spare storage revamp and actually changing the stickers as well as the bags. When I was still sort of in the thought process of what I was going to do, I did de-kit one, maybe two kits. And what I was doing was, as I was de-kitting, I was changing the bags. And that's why you'll find that that one has one of the thicker bags already. It's because I was doing it as I went along. Do you know what? There's not many diamonds in there, but I'm going to put them into my sort of pass along box, because I think that's sort of hit its happy spot. So these were already in the bag, which saved me a job. I've just changed the sticker over to make it pretty. And then lastly for today is 996. I only have them in here in rounds because my squares are in my Heaven and Earth design painting, but I definitely know I have those in there, because this is another popular colour. This is one that I do have a few different shades of though. I have some that definitely don't look like 996. The green ones definitely don't look like it. And it's one of those, when I went to de-kit, I could try and determine, you know, what colour it really was, which colour it was closer to. But it could be that a seller that I run out of actually uses that greener colour as 996 as well. So maybe I would need it to fill in that gap. Who knows? Okay. So that is today's sort of section of the spare storage done. But I have all of these to deal with after I've eaten. Let's pop these bags in. I'm going to pop them down like that just to help that to sort of stand upright. In fact, I do have another bag or two. We'll go for one. There we go. Sort of 3's the limit. We'll put them in there to make that stand up in the meantime while I get the rest done. But how pretty is that looking? Oh, so nice. And then all I have left is Chaos Box. So this is a full box the old way, and this is a full box the new way. Even before you start looking at it from, you know, sort of my angle, which it's even nicer. Yeah, we're definitely on the right track. We'll see how much we can get moved over and go from there. I know I do have a couple of numbers in there that I have far too many drills for. that will definitely shrink down, but how much it will shrink down by, time will tell. So thank you so much for watching. Please join me next week while I move on to the third and final box, and happy organising to you all. Thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you again soon.